It's March 3rd, 2021. I'm just working on my truck here. I just pulled the fuel pump so I can access the frame. The frame rail was pretty rusted, so I had to really pull the tank to get it out of the way to bring it down to the metal shop. They're going to weld it for me. Just want to give you a little history here. I'm not a mechanic per se. I took auto mechanic in trade school, but I never really did pursue it. I'm an electrician. So it was a little bit of a daunting task, but another video says I could do it in 1 hour and 20, but I think that doesn't account for the amount of rust and difficulty of connectors and bolts and things like that are pretty bad shape. So I'll just give you an idea, run through what I did. So hopefully it'll help you in the future as you might do the same project. As these trucks do get old and rusty, and no doubt you'll need to do the same thing. But here we go. Let's take a walk underneath the truck and I'll show you what I did. All right, so let me put my headlight on. So as you can see, the frame is pretty well rusted all the way down the seam there. You see that there? That's all in pretty bad shape, especially right there. So I don't want to tow my trailer like that with it that bad. And back over there. So the body shop said it for about $1,000 they'll weld up on there. So what I had to do was basically get the truck up about 4 inches off the ground, 3 to 4 inches. So once I was up, I was able to get a lot of room in here. And you still can't get the fuel tank much accessibility to the top of the fuel tank. So the best thing to do is take those bolts off the drive shaft. I think it was a 12 or 13 millimeter, but I looked up on YouTube, and you got to find it's a 12.13 millimeter socket, and that did perfect job. And I actually pre-treated all these nuts and bolts with you can pre-treat oil so you can make it a little easier, but they still, as you can see, northeast, a lot of rust. The next thing is the bolts for the strapping. That's the rear bolt carrier for the rear strap. So it's kind of a pain because these little clips are really not, they move. And that one was fine. It came out. I got it out. No problem. This one over here, that was buried between the tank and stuff, and I ended up having to sawzall and ruin the strap. So this strap on this side, I have to buy a new one. But that was the only way to get it out. And the way I sawzalled it, obviously with fuel inside, which is a little scary, I sawzalled right here where the tank strap tongue, you might say, sat in there. So I just sawzalled very carefully in 2 different spots and was able to get it out. So you might do the same thing if you were doing that. And of course, to pull the tank, you gotta disconnect the feed line up there, and then the return, I guess it's like a airline or whatever. So that had to come undone. Then if you get over here, it really makes a difference once you pull the drive shaft and get the truck up high enough, you can really get in here. These 2 connectors, I just taped them up. I'm sorry, I should have showed you. They are a pain in the neck to get off. So just very carefully, delicate. Look on YouTube, or there's one fella that shows it pretty clearly. Just gotta be patient with them. And this is my my evap hose. Actually, I didn't last. I just cut it. I'll just do a 3/8 barb fitting and connect it together. And the same with my fill. My fill hose, I just essentially just cut it and said, you know what, I'll buy a new one. That's just easier, I hope. I hope it's easier. And then back here, we got our the other lines back there. I pulled those the fuel lines off as well. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Now let's take a look at the other the actual fuel pump itself. Let's crawl around here. I'm going to show you my driveway as I walk over to the backyard here, and show you the fuel tank. I put it over here to kind of keep it out of the way of the house. So this connector was a pain to get off. So you have to release the little red guy, release that. You can't see him now, but he's on the connector itself. Release him this way, and then there is a little tab. You have to push that tab down. It looks like it does nothing, but it does. So that on the connector itself, release the locking mechanism, the red lock, and push the tab down, and that'll help you. Then, of course, with these, I don't know if you can see that, but anytime you see those type of connectors, pull the centerpiece out and then squeeze this one down. Once that centerpiece is out, you squeeze out when the other piece down towards the hose, then pull it up and it comes off. And those there, you just squeeze the yellow or the whatever the other color is, you squeeze that and then it releases the hose. So that's kind of it. You had to also, so basically to get the tank down, jack up the truck, free up the carrier bolts as much as you can for the tank straps. That's a good thing to do first. Just see if they'll come free. They got 4 inches of travel on those bolts. You're not going to hurt anything by unloosing a little bit. See if they move. Then the next thing is you got to, once you get the truck jacked up, you can actually see above and see if you can wiggle this the fill neck hose off. If not, just cut it. And to see if you can get this guy off. If not, just cut it. Take off the sensor here. Take off this connector here. And then the front and the back tube lines, they have the quick release. And then drop the tank. It's pretty much that easy. And this tank is going to get swapped out. I'm going to swap out the pump anyway while I'm here. Might as well do it. It looks like it's in pretty bad shape, so I might as well just do it. All right, hope this helps you.